Hello. We're back again at EdgeMate. I'm your host, Chad Cook, and today we're going to be talking about basically AI, GPU as a service. I have Anish Chopra from Komodo.ao or AO. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Awesome. So basically met Anish at another EdgeMate event. We do AI events every couple months, and his company demoed his services, GPU as a service. And AI is such a hot topic. I'm sure you've heard it in the news. And so I'm glad to get you and your expertise on the show today and talk about your company and talk about the industry in general. But before we get there, tell me about yourself a little bit. How'd you get to the Bay Area? And then just a little bit about your company.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm originally from Toronto, Canada, and I moved to the Bay Area in 2018. Started off my career in AI research. I worked at a startup called Embark Trucks in self-driving. Then I moved on to Rivian, where I also did a lot of self-driving work, more on the research side. But eventually, throughout my career,
I know Rivian. Those are nice cars.
They're amazing cars. I have one of their cars now.
No way.
Yeah, it's one of the best things I've ever bought.
All right, you're driving to lunch after this.
Sounds good. And so I slowly, through my career, went from AI research to applied AI, basically bringing AI models into production. And then finally, I moved on to AI infrastructure. And throughout my career, I kept experiencing the same recurring problem where AI researchers were really struggling to use cloud GPUs effectively to build and deploy AI models. And so that's when I got started with Komodo. We are building a GPU cloud and development
Love the
platform.
name, by the way.
Thank you.
How'd you come across? I mean, obviously, it's an awesome animal, first of all, but
Yeah, I mean, we honestly just started brainstorming a bunch of names, me and my co-founder, Kote.
Yeah.
We wanted a name that obviously had a nice ring to it, but could also be shortened easily so that it's one word that can very easily be typed with one hand, because part of our interface is a command line tool. And so people who are using the platform are going to be typing that a lot. And so the name of our tool is called Como. So that was one big requirement, is have a name that's easy to type, can be shortened like that. And so that's how I got started with Komodo.
All right. Okay. And I interrupted you before, but did
So basically, Komodo is a GPU cloud and developer platform all in one. So we let people basically rent GPUs by the hour through our platform. We work with multiple GPU providers to get great availability at extremely competitive prices. So we can actually beat platforms like AWS SageMaker by up to 70% in terms of compute costs. But on top of that, we offer a whole developer platform so that you never, as a researcher, have to worry about infrastructure. And we will help you very seamlessly build and deploy AI models.
See, I see a good fit with your company because, for the most part, these chips are very, very expensive, and and logistically getting these chips delivered to you is even more of a problem. If money's not enough problem, getting the chips is enough problem. And then once you have the chips, you got to put them somewhere. And so then there's a dearth of space and power worldwide in these data centers. And then all of a sudden you have a great idea, but you got to wait a year or two. Yeah. So a company like yours can help get you off the ground, kind of realize your dream before, I don't know, is that, I would say that's kind of a good niche that you fit, right?
Pretty much, exactly. Yeah, with our platform, you can launch a machine with an H100 GPU in less than a minute.
That's awesome. All right, well, we're going to get to some of the SWOT, strengths, weaknesses of your company versus, everything else. But before that, a couple more things about getting to know you better. These are the icebreaker cards. All right. What is one of the nicest things you could say about yourself?
One of the nicest things I could say about myself. Does that mean do you mean a nice quality about myself or something that's just...
Yeah, what is the nicest thing you can say about it? I don't know, I guess you just brag right now.
All right, what can I brag about? Well, I've always been just a builder my entire life, and I've built some really cool things. So I actually got into coding when I played on my cousin's iPhone for the first time and played a game. Okay. And so one cool thing is that I taught myself how to code and built my first app at age 12.
See, I wish my son would not play the game and had your wherewithal to like actually code the game, but we'll get there one day. And then the other icebreaker card. If you could get away with a crime, what crime would you commit? I may have to like censor this answer, but well, cool. That was fun. All right, now on to the nuts and bolts of the AI industry and your company in general. So, what would you say some of the strengths of Komodo IO would be versus, so EdgeMate is all about what's your edge in the marketplace, like what differentiates yourself from others. So, like, yeah, what would some of your strengths be?
Yeah, so biggest strengths, it comes from our developer platform, where we are so much more than a cloud that lets you rent GPUs, but we provide a suite of tools that empowers researchers to build and deploy AI models. So, for example, Meta recently released their Llama 3 models, and through our platform, you could fine-tune Llama 3 incredibly easily. You could actually kick off a fine-tuning job in less than 5 minutes on our platform on your own custom data set, and then deploy it immediately afterwards. And so you can have your own proprietary model completely trained on your own custom data and deployed ready for you to use in less than 2 hours.
Okay, so I can see the excitement here. So like with all these revolutionary ways to deploy AI, you can't get to it unless you have the GPUs in order to make that magic happen. Mm-hmm. And so your company allows for this technical advances for your company.
Exactly. So
or personal use, cheating on your homework, whatever.
Exactly. So with our platform, like users never have to worry about finding GPUs, orchestrating all of the jobs, dealing with infrastructure. It's basically just you bring your code and say, this is what I want to use a GPU for, and we handle everything around that.
That's awesome. Okay, but what about some weaknesses that you with your competition or technology or whatnot?
Yeah, so I would say it's definitely a crowded space. Lots of GPU clouds.
Aren't you saying there's 75 AI companies in a workspace in downtown San Francisco?
In the building that we work in, they're all AI companies. Yeah, so I'd say like just due to the competitive nature, and especially us being an earlier stage startup, that it's going to be a challenge to grab a good amount of that market share, and so. Yeah. It's
a land grab. It's like someone's gonna. Yeah, I hear. Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, but also kind of scary. Like this, it's it. Someone's gonna do it, right? But the moment's now.
Exactly. And we still are working right now on making our availability even better. So we still have to go do the work to find even more GPU providers to partner with, and there's still a lot to build. We still have to help make those APIs for our providers to be able to rent GPUs by the hour for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So what's the opportunity? I mean, kind of touched on it earlier, but obviously AI is opportunity, but can you put any specifics on the opportunities your companies have that your company has in this particular space?
Yeah. So our edge here is definitely leaning on our developer platform, where there's a lot of GPU clouds out there that just offer GPUs as a service, and it works really well. And like today, because GPUs are so hard to come by, but this GPU availability problem is a short-term problem. And so we are positioning ourselves for the future where people might come for the GPUs and the prices today, but they're going to stay for the platform and for the developer experience.
Mm. Awesome. Okay. Gotcha. But okay. Conversely, what kind of threats? I mean, I guess you touched on that as well, with the weakness being the competition. But what are some of the? Are there particular threats, like currently that you're facing, or is it just a general threat of competition?
I would say it is mostly the general threat of competition. We are still not, even like on the developer platform side of things, we're not the only platform out there. And so we have to work really hard to make our platform as sticky as possible by making that developer experience as seamless as possible.
Yep. And then all 15 of my users can, or viewers, they spread the word as well. Just kidding. For sure. Well, So I'm basically in the same industry. I'm a partner of a tech advisory firm, and I could totally see using your company as one of our, portfolio providers to help, companies, get launch their AI dreams. So I appreciate you being on the show. But last but not least, we have the tarot card. This is people tune in not for the knowledge we just gave. They tune in for the tarot card. And the card that was pulled was the Nine of Cups. And basically, what cups means is interactions, like cheers, like, hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. And it's the overall symbol of the Nine of Cups is the wish card. So that could mean a lot of different things, like wishing that the AI industry stays, the way it is. And I think it does. I think there is a huge runway with AI, unlike crypto, that kind of crashed a little bit. I think AI has a lot of runway because there's not enough space and power for all these AI companies yet. Like there's a lot of data centers coming online next year, 2026, 27. So I think this industry is going to stay for a while. Wishing for funding. Maybe you're wishing for funding so that you can be one of the leaders in the GPU as a service space. But the underlying symbol of this card is also just contentment, satisfaction, and harmony, and being that AI is the place to be. So I think you're in a good space, and I wish you the best. Thank you for joining.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Stay tuned to next time. Have a great weekend, and see y'all soon.